Welcome everybody to another episode of the brilliant Mets and Games Show here for the Premier League, and giving you guys the ins and outs of what is going to happen, our prediction this week for Week 9. It's been a hot minute since we've been there. We had a couple of postponements because of the Queen's death, and we had a couple of postponements of the games because of other issues. But we are back for the Week 9 match day going on. I, as always, have my good friend Matt here. Matt, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
Good to hear.
It's getting cold outside, but I'm ready to do some more predictions.
Oh, I'm telling you, yeah. When we're talking about cold, we're talking about cold too, because it is getting tremendously cold out here. I already got my blanket and the heater's not going right now. But hey, you know what is heating up? The Premier League. That's what's heating up for it. All right, so let's get into the games because that's what people have come here to. Our first game of the week is going to be the big game of the week. It's the Arsenal-Tottenham, Saturday, 7:30 a.m. in American time. It'll be the first game being played. And of course, I will have our friend Matt here go ahead and say what he's thinking.
So, this is the first North London derby of the season, and both of these teams are doing very well. They're only a point apart in the standings. Arsenal has looked very strong, though they haven't looked as convincing in Europe, but we'll get to that in a different time. But they did drop a game to Manchester United just a few weeks back, and they are fallible now. Yeah, they had a perfect record for a time, but that's gone. Tottenham haven't lost a game yet. Their front three is looking very lethal. Kulusevski, Son, and Kane, very strong. I am probably going to be in the minority here of predictions, but I think Tottenham's going to take it away to Arsenal. Tottenham's going to win 2-1.
Wow.
Bold prediction, but
I mean, here's the thing. I'll give it to you. I don't think, honestly, whatever you would have chosen, win, loss, draw, whatever it would have been, is a bad choice. Whatever team you have two really good teams. Like you said, Arsenal has had their armor chipped a little bit, so they do know. I think if I remember right, somebody back in week 6 was like, could they go undefeated? Oh, and I'm like, no way. And that other person said, I don't know, they're looking good, but I wouldn't say who that was.
It's almost impossible for them to be like the Untouchables again.
For sure.
It's like a talking point, right? It's like Arsenal had the Untouchables the last time.
Yeah.
They were undefeated until now. That's out the window now. If anything, me saying that has jinxed them, and I'm kind of glad. I'm not a fan of Arsenal. Sorry to anyone watching who might be, but I've never had any love for them. So I usually predict results not in their favor.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I totally agree. I will have it as Arsenal wins this game, and it's going to be 2-1.
We have the same score.
Yeah, just backwards. So, I really do believe that they do really well in the big games. They have a good squad. I think Tottenham had a really good game last game, and Son really finally opened up and finally scored. I think that got a monkey off his back. Finally got that hat trick, and he got a hat trick in 30 minutes, which was incredible.
Yeah, he subbed on and scored a hat trick.
He subbed on, yeah. Yep.
Something about not being started maybe got him riled up.
Yeah,
he had something to prove.
I think he's gonna get all that pressure off. He's gonna feel a lot looser. He's gonna look good. The problem with it is he's gonna look good, but the rest of the team's gonna look bad. Kane, I think, getting beat up in the leagues below, or in his international friendlies and his international play. I think he's going to come back. He's going to be beat up. He's going to be like, oh crap, this is gonna suck. Why all the rest of the squad from Arsenal who did leave is coming back happier and playing well and a lot looser and feeling good. I think that's going to be the big thing. I think international play is going to ruin Tottenham this game, and that's why I think it's going to be 2-1. Sure. For our next game, what's that?
I said that's understandable.
Yeah.
I can see where you're going.
For our next game, we have Liverpool versus Brighton. Two very good teams coming off some very good games. We have a couple of changes, especially for Brighton here. But we have a couple of changes, and I'll let you go, Matt, on what your prediction is.
All right. So I think both of these teams know how to score, and they're going to be well rested after a bit of a break from matches. Liverpool didn't play in the full week that was postponed or the one following. Brighton also didn't play. They had a match against Crystal Palace postponed. So both of these teams had lots of time in the training ground, lots of time to get their energy back. I think there's going to be a lot of goals scored this game. I think Liverpool is going to edge it out by a score of 3-2. Brighton has a new manager, De Zerbi. He's had a bit of time to look at the squad and sort of make his assessments and things, but I think it's going to be an adjustment to the Premier League, so he's not going to have it all figured out right away, and they're not going to be able to pick up a point in their first game. Okay.
I agree with you. I do believe Liverpool is going to also win this game. I did look also. They both had that huge amount of time off. I think that time off is going to benefit Liverpool the most because the way they're looking this year, they're looking really tired. Because I think all of what happened last season with them playing 4 different cups all at the same time while trying to win the league, the Premier League all at the same time. I mean, they so many games. I think they just got burned out, and I think this time off was good. Gives them a chance to kind of regroup, kind of like focus more, go, okay, cool, we got this. And I think with a new coach in there, the team is only going to know how to play defense, and I think this coach is more of a balanced style. We want to score, but at the same time, we want to play defense. And I think the team will sell that mindset of we got to score, that we got to play defense. And because of that, the coach is going to finally eventually say, guys, go up, push. And if they do, I think that's going to be their downfall because they're going to get some of the players are going to get frustrated. Some of the players might get angry. Some of the players might get scared, anxious, and you don't want a big team like Liverpool. You're not going to have that. You're not going to be able to get that ability to not be penalized for it. So I will say Liverpool's going to win this game, but they're going to win it 3-1. I don't think it's going to be as big as people think, but I do think it's going to be a 3-1 win.
Like you were saying too, if the other team starts to chase and attack a lot, Liverpool is very good on the counterattack.
Very good.
And
that's
how they beat you. Like, I mean, they're way better now at like the build-up play as well, but their forwards are fast. They're missing Mane, of course. Nunez is very good.
Yeah, definitely. I think the team's gonna come out there. Liverpool is, and they're gonna be just be perfectly fine. I think they'll score an early one to get that push.
Yeah.
Next game.
Infield as well.
Oh yeah, especially there. That's gonna be a huge crowd for them. Next game, Fulham versus Newcastle.
Do you want to go first in this one?
I will not go first. I'm gonna, because I have a couple things to say on this game for sure. So, go ahead.
I think Fulham has had some ups and downs this season. They're currently sitting in 6th, though. They've had 3 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses. 4 goals scored than allowed. But I think a lot of their good results came against less strong sides, let's say. They did take points off Brighton. They actually beat them. They've lost to Spurs, they've lost to Arsenal. They beat Brentford as well. They beat Wolves. They did draw with Liverpool, but I think this game they're gonna put up a good fight. They're just not gonna have enough in them. I think Newcastle's gonna win 2-0.
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah, I'd like to see a goal from Bruno this game. That'd be pretty. I think he's due.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to talk about much about this team, because most of us know what's going on. I will say though, I believe Newcastle is going to be this, or what I'll say is this is going to be the moment for Newcastle where it's hit or miss. This is going to be the time either they go left or you go right. It sounds like Newcastle's going to be fully stocked with all their players are back. Alisson Maximin is going to come back. Bruno's going to come back full. Last game he wasn't fully healthy. He was still kind of not out of training. And I think with that back, with all their players back, everything's going to be back. This will be the game because Pope let a very bad goal in to make England lose this week. And we're going to see if Pope gets rattled. I don't think he will because he's been their number one goalie forever, and he understands that. But I think if Newcastle lets in 2 goals this game, it's over for Newcastle this year. I think mid-table or lower. I really think this is going to be the biggest game for them. Fulham is one of those games that you look at and you say, we should win this game, which they should.
Yeah.
I will put, and I hate to say this, I will make this a game, and I will say that this is going to be a 2-2 draw. I know as a Newcastle fan, I shouldn't go there, but I will keep it exactly where I have to stop being biased with Newcastle. They're on draws like every single game.
They've had a draw 5 out of the last 6 matches.
Yeah.
They've only won the very first game of the year.
Yep.
And they've lost one other one.
And that
so
one
draw is like a likely
outcome
at this point.
Yeah, and the one win that they had, Nottingham Forest. That's it.
Yeah. They played Bournemouth last week.
Yeah.
Another team that just got promoted.
Yeah.
Just like Fulham and just like Forest.
Yep.
Who should be beatable, especially for a team of Newcastle's depth and squad. Like they should be able to win.
True, but that's what I say. That's why I say we got all our players back finally. St. Maximin's back. You got Trippier, who's finally fully healed. Finally, everybody's who's back. The captain's back. Everybody's back who's good, and that's why I say this game. If Newcastle draws this game or lower, which I think they will, I think that's gonna be their downfall, because I don't think there's a reason that they should lose this game, but I think there will be a reason. I think Isaac every time I watch Newcastle play, Isaac has no idea what is going on. Don't get me wrong.
They've had 2 or 3 games with him.
Yeah. And his first game was against Liverpool, and nobody knew, oh, he's a good player or whatever. I think the reason why he did so well out there were the coaches probably were just like, go out there and just run. Just go out there and find an opening and run. And I don't think the coaches reiterated to him, or he doesn't understand properly, that that's true. Go out there and just run because you didn't have any training. You don't know what the heck you're doing, so we're just going to they'll find you type of thing. The problem with that is now is that Isaac is doing the same thing with the other games, even though he's gone through training, and I don't know if he knows exactly where to be. There's so many times where you see, and he's just like, guys, I was right here. And it's like, no, you weren't supposed to be there. You're supposed to be in the middle, not going to the left, and not going to the right. He actually, when he gets the ball and does well, he made a beautiful last game that was played with them. He made this beautiful pass. Everybody thought he was going to go to the left. He did a cross perfectly through. He did a through pass perfectly through 2 defenders, and it should have been a goal. And it didn't go in, unfortunately. But That's the thing. Like, we have been screwed in so many. The 2 draws we were screwed out of. The Watford game, or not Watford, the Wolves game. We went up in the air, and there should have been no foul, and there was a foul. It should have been a goal, 1-0 win. But it wasn't. And then it came back, and this game should have been a win, and we got screwed. But we have no more excuses. That's why I said this is the game.
Yeah, you should find a way to win.
Yeah,
still.
This is the game that's going to make or break. Pope is coming back from a terrible loss, or a terrible draw, but basically a loss, where his team got relegated. England got relegated to Group 2. Maybe we'll make a video of that later. But I have them drawing this game. I have them drawing this game, and I think Mitrovic is going to score a late goal, and it's going to break Newcastle this year. And Newcastle will be 10th, 11th, 12th, whatever. They're going to be bottom half, and it's going to be terrible, and it's going to ruin me. But I will say that it's gonna be one of those things where we're going to start slipping a little bit. We'll come back from international play. Winter break, we'll get a couple of players, and we'll keep our standing up, and we'll end the season there. But yeah, that, like I said, I'm making 2-2. It's gonna be a draw, but that is why. You watch them enough times, and you understand Newcastle is gonna kill you. So, all right, and on to the next game, Southampton versus Everton. Southampton's at home for this game, and Everton is away on this one. What do you have, Matt?
Alright, so they're actually pretty even in the standings, but very different in the terms of their results so far this year. Everton's had 4 draws. Southampton's had 1 draw but 4 losses. Very up and down. But in the recent games, Everton has not lost a game since, I believe, the first match week, or no, the second match week.
Second, yeah.
So they've been pulling out results and pulling out points out of all these games against teams that people are expecting to be above them. And I think Southampton is more on their level. So I think Everton are going to find a way to get a result here. I think they're going to take it 1-0. They're going to quiet the crowd at St. Mary's. And they're going to have a win.
Okay, very good. I like you were short and sweet on that one. That just tells me that you are sure about what you think. So I like that. I will say no to you. I'm actually going to go with this.
That's the only way you're going to catch up, right?
Yeah. But I'm being sincere and honest. You kind of have to see what happened though. So you have Southampton coming back from a break, right? And then before that point, you have Southampton facing Man U, Chelsea, and then Wolves. And so they fought, some really tough teams, and even before that, you had Leeds that you went to a draw on, and Leeds came back, and then Tottenham. So they haven't really faced anybody, easy per se.
They played Villa once, and I would say that's on the easier side.
All right, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. But then let's look to see what Everton did. They beat West Ham. Great. Liverpool, true. Right? Leeds also draw on that one. I will give them Liverpool, but with that even being said, I think Liverpool just had a really crappy day, and I don't know what happened there. You have Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa was their last loss before that. It's not like they face some huge teams, right? So, with that being said, I think this is the time when Everton is going to be all like, yeah, guys, look how great we're doing. I think it's going to be a loss. I will agree with you, though. It is going to be a Southampton win, but it's going to be 1-0 on their side. You don't go into St. Mary's. You just don't. You don't go into St. Mary's and win a lot of times. And you don't score a lot of goals. It is very difficult to do that. So I will give it, and I will say Southampton 1-0. On to the next game. Big game. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Crystal Palace will be at home this time.
Yep.
And we are going to see two teams that are basically on the opposite end of the standings here. Chelsea's in 7th, Crystal Palace is in 16th. And Chelsea comes off of a Champions League. It was a draw. But yeah, they did get a break. But they did beat West Ham 2-1 off of that. And then you have Crystal Palace coming back from a unfortunate, well, of course, a postponement, but an unfortunate 0-0 draw against Newcastle there. What do you have, good sir Matt?
So, I think Crystal Palace is a team that's better than a lot of their results this season. They played Arsenal very tightly and were really unlucky to lose that game. They played well enough to prevent Newcastle from scoring, for whatever that's worth. They drew Liverpool earlier in the season as well. And they got some wins when they had the opportunity. They lost to City, but even then, that game they came out to a lead, and they weren't able to hang on. But I think Crystal Palace is going to be moving in the upwards direction in terms of the table. Chelsea, I could say a lot about Chelsea, but they have a new manager. He is still getting used to the squad, I feel like. He is still kind of setting them up in his system. He has not won a game yet. I think they have a lot of weapons and a lot of strong players, but I think the cohesion is not going to be fully there. They were looking quite shaky. They were lucky to beat West Ham. There was a controversial VAR check in that game that went in Chelsea's favor. So I think this game is going to be a 1-1 draw. I think both teams are going to score, but Chelsea's not going to be able to pull ahead.
Okay. I agree. I basically agree on a lot of stuff that you're saying. I think Chelsea has too much manpower though, and I think the biggest thing is going to be they're going to come in, they're going to win, they're going to come in and they're going to try to win, and that's what it's going to backfire on them. You don't let Crystal Palace into a game. You just don't. I think Crystal Palace.
That's your Man City.
True. Yeah, but that Man City can let anybody in and score
they're
3.
different. Yeah,
they're different than everybody. I think Crystal Palace will score 2 goals, and then Chelsea will need to come back. We all had problems that week on the VAR, and I was frustrated so much about that because that was the time that Newcastle got screwed too. But I will actually agree with you. It's going to be a draw, but I'll say the draw is going to be a 2-2 draw.
Okay.
I think Crystal Palace will come back. They'll have their patented come from behind goals in the 92nd minute, and it's going to be Pulisic. I'm calling it now. We're calling it Pulisic on that one.
Wondering when
Yep.
we make an America.
Yeah, hey, I have to do it. Pulisic. People are saying Pulisic should be leaving, and I think Pulisic's going to show, because Pulisic has nothing to show for the American team. He's Captain America, so he's going to be on the captain's squad, so he doesn't have anything to improve there. But I think he is going to show other teams. He's going to try. The winter break is coming up, so he won't have time to actually show them anything.
He's got a World Cup to prep for.
Yeah, and I think the World Cup is the World Cup's going to help him out. But I think really what's going to happen is he needs to show that he can do it. Pulisic is going to score a goal. I think he'll only score 1, but I think he's going to score a goal. I think the coach is going to try to just be like, screw this, I don't know what to do right now. Take whomever off, put him in. Actually, I'll even say, who do I want to say he takes off? You guys still have Hazard, right?
No, it's been years.
Oh, has it? Really? Has it really been years? Oh, I'm crazy here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me see who you guys are going to take off. Let's see.
I think, like for like, he could take off one of the other wingers.
Yeah, but who are you going to take off? I will.
Sterling?
No, I think he'll take off Gallagher. I think Gallagher's going to have a hard time playing. It's his old team.
I don't even know if Gallagher's going to start, to be honest.
I think he'll start. I think he'll start. And what he's gonna move to he's gonna move to a this coach is gonna go crazy. This coach just needs to get this win or a draw or something. So this is what's gonna happen. I have 2 predictions gonna happen. They're crazy predictions. So if it works, I gotta get 3 points for this because this is insane. But this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna get down by 2. About the 60th minute, and nothing's been shown. Gallagher, boom, is off for Pulisic. He's going to switch over to a 4-2-3-1 set. So basically there's 4 attackers. And he's going to bring in Pierre. He's going to bring Emerick. Yep. He's going to bring in Pierre Emerick as the center. And he's going to bring in Pulisic as the outside. And he might, I don't know if he's going to do this, but I think he's going to take out Mason Mount. And he's going to take out...
Mason Mount has been so poor lately.
Yeah. Yep.
Not even that he's playing poorly, but just like... He's looked frustrated. He's looked like he's not been fully in every game. He's been playing in a more central position where he normally plays more of an attacking position.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I'm looking for something more from Mason Mount. I hope he gets it, but he may not. And so if he goes off early, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, and I think with those 3 players out there, you have Pulisic, Pierre-Emerick, and Sterling. You get those 3 guys getting out there, and all of a sudden there's gonna be openings, and then Crystal Palace is gonna be like, oh crap. So that's my main prediction is Pulisic's gonna get in there, he's gonna get a goal, and he won't miss this time because he always freaking misses in pressure situations. I already know it, but yeah, that's what I'm.
Did he score in the recent international break for an American?
God, why do you do this to me? Oh, we'll definitely have to do another video on that. If you don't know, chat, basically what happened was United States lost to Japan. It was so annoying. They looked terrible. But anyways, on to the next game. Bartmouth and Brentford. You have Bartmouth at home, which is always a good thing for them. Bartmouth at home. It is going to say a very good Brentford team. Brentford is in 9th place, while you have Bartmouth at a pretty respectable 12th for them, honestly. Bartmouth came off a draw against Newcastle. Bullcrap. And you have Brentford coming off of their last game as a loss, but it was against Arsenal, so it's understandable. And what do you got, Matt?
So, the last week where both of these teams played, they both didn't have a great result, but the time, like prior to the full match week postponement, they both had pretty impressive wins. Bournemouth beat Nottingham Forest away, and Brentford had a huge home win over Leeds. They scored 5 goals. That was possibly their best game of the season. They still allowed 2. They're a team that's capable of scoring, but their defense is kind of shaky. I think they're going to concede early in this game. Away to Bournemouth, it's going to be a tough matchup. But I think Brentford has the quality to score, and I think they're going to come back. They're going to tie it up after halftime, and they're gonna pull ahead in the last 15 minutes and take it 2-1.
Okay. So, I don't know if you remember this, but remember how I was saying to you that Bournemouth's going to do well in warm weather. And let me tell you, I have been talking with my family that lives in England, and I've been saying, hey guys, how's the weather there? And they're like, it's good. And I've been seeing all of them starting to wear some sweaters, putting on the warm clothing on, because guess what? It's getting cold. Bournemouth is not a town that you live in when it's cold outside. You go there for the summertime. Oh baby, it's summertime. So what's going to happen is Brentford's going to come in. This is where a lot of the players, this is the time when a lot of players are going to be starting to look at they want to be on the international play. All right? And they got a couple players, Brentford's got a couple players that want to be on the international team. So they're going to play really well. I think Brentford wins. I agree with you with the Brentford win. But what I will also say is it's going to be a blowout. We're talking,
Okay.
I'm talking 4-0. Yeah, it's at Brentford, but it's going to be 4-0. Ain't nobody going to be there that's going to be supporting them proud enough. And I think it's going to be a huge blowout. So I'll have
Wow.
Brentford as a 4-0 win. Oh, yeah, you got Tony
Oh,
Tony wants to get on that team. Tony is a reserve player, and they didn't play him,
yeah.
and he's mad. He's like, no, no, no.
He got called up for England,
He did.
but he didn't play.
He did not play in a draw. So he's going to be like, no, no, I want to prove to them. So that's what I have as my game there. Next game we have is West Ham versus Wolves. You have West Ham starting to maybe look up a little bit more, but we have a good West Ham team all the way down in 18th spot. They lost their last 2 games, but they are in the Europa Conference League, which is so weird to hear that one of the teams that could get relegated is gonna possibly win a Europa Championship conference, which is so weird. But they do come off an unfortunate loss against Everton, and then you have, of course, an Aston Villa team, or excuse me, my bad, a Wolves team who is in 17th. So this is going to be a battle for the last spot to stay up. And you have a Wolves team that is coming off a really, really bad game against Man City. Yes, Man City's good enough, but really bad team. So, Matt, I'll let you get on. It is at West Ham. Go ahead.
So yeah, West Ham's had some good results in Europe so far this season. They picked up a big win in their last game not that long ago. I believe it was a week and a half ago. Almost 2 weeks now. But Wolves are a team that it seems like every other game is a goalless draw, and they have already had a goalless draw that I predicted to be a goalless draw this year. I don't know if this one will be. I think it's going to be tough for them going into West Ham Stadium. They're gonna struggle to score. They've struggled to score all year. I think it'll be 1-0 for West Ham.
1-0 West Ham. Okay. Getting them out of the bottom 3. Okay.
I'll be eager for some points after that Chelsea result.
Yeah. Right. Right. Like I was saying before, Wolves are bringing in some players. They did get a red card for karate kicking. Did you see that kick that defender did? Oh my God, against Grealish. He literally karate kicked him. He went up in the air to kick a ball. It didn't have to. I mean, he could have even just tried to head it or kind of hit it a little bit on the side or his shoulder or whatever. He karate kicked Grealish right in the gut. I mean, he had this huge scar just ripping, right? Just a really big bruise on his abdomen. And I was like, oh my God, immediate red card should have been no problem. But I think that is going to be one of Wolves' type of downfall there. And I will actually, I know I was kind of thinking back and forth on it, but I will say it's going to be, it's going to be a 2-0 win for West Ham. I was going to go with Wolves this game, but I think with a defender down, a significant defender down that they're going to have, I think 2-0. I think West Ham's going to come in after finally getting a couple breaks, kind of breathe a little bit, kind of go, okay, we're good, and that's what's going to be. On to the big game, which it's going to be on Sunday, which is weird because I thought they would put this game at the end of the day, which should be the night game, which I tremendously would have that. But the Man City versus Man U, the Manchester Derby is going to be their big game. Big game. It's in Man City Stadium. Big game. We all know how good Man City is. They just won their last game against the Wolves, and Man U is coming back up from losing their first 2 games of the year and then coming all the way back up. Man City's in second place because of Newcastle, and Man U is in 5th place because they're on a 4-game winning streak on that. What do you have, Matt?
So it's pretty rare that we have Manchester Derby and the North London Derby in the same week.
I know.
they are not on the same day, which I would imagine is probably intentional, so people can watch both of them separately. But this is at Manchester City Stadium. They are very hard to play against. I feel like they've been very strong this season. They have yet to lose a game. I think the depth of that squad and how well coached they are by Pep, they're going to find a way to break down United. United's been very strong defensively ever since the new manager has sort of gotten his feet under him and started getting them set. And they only allowed 1 goal against Arsenal, who has been scoring boatloads of goals. Sheets the rest of the games that they've had. And of course they only let one in when they beat Liverpool as well. But like we said before, Man City's a different team than a lot of these other teams. They have a lot of firepower, they have a lot of skill, and they'll have the home crowd. So I think it's going to be Manchester City taking it. I'm going to say 3-1.
Okay. 3-1, alright.
It's going to be an even game for a lot of the game. I think one of the teams is going to score late in the first half, but they're going to equalize, early in the second half. Then City will score somewhere around the 60th, 70th minute to go ahead, and then United will be chasing the rest of the game, and they'll extend too far and allow like a 90th minute third goal. That doesn't really mean much at that point, other than that they can't equalize basically. And I think City is just too good. They have Haaland as well. He's they might mark him, but what about the rest of them, right?
Right.
So,
right.
What do you think?
So I think I agree. Man City has a lot of firepower. I think Man City is just way too strong, way too good. They can be down by 2 goals and come all the way back. They can be down 3 goals against good teams and come all the way back. I think that home crowd, if Man U is going to try to win this game, they got to take that home crowd out. They have to be aggressive. They've clearly shown and seen, how do you beat them? This is how you beat them. I will say this also. If the coach for Man U comes in and can understand the system that he's been working with that's been giving him wins, I think it will be a fight. I think they'll do pretty well against Man City. But I do agree Man City's going to win the game. But I will have it as, I have mine as it's going to be 3-2 Man City win. And it'll be a late one. It will be a late one. I almost want to say, I know this is crazy to say, I want to say Man U gets the lead, and then Man City takes over within the last, I don't know, I'll say last 20 minutes.
Scores. That's a fair shout.
Yeah.
Manchester City, when they're behind, is scary.
Very scary. Well, that's
whips them up and like.
Well, I mean that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Is the teams are going to go in and they're gonna play the way. I think he's going to try. I think Man U is going to come in and it's going to try everything to just push as they should. Then all of a sudden around 60th, 75th minute, they're going to get scared and go, okay guys, we got a lead. Okay, we got to think of what's going to happen. Okay, now we just got to play back, because what's going to happen all of a sudden out of nowhere is Pep is going to just be like, here we go, let's bring this random person that's my 5th string water boy. Oh, look, he can score 4 goals. Yay, hat trick. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. He knows a way of doing it. But he's there. That's going to be the man, the guy, the go-to, and they're going to come back and they're going to win though. But they're going to win it 3-2, and it's going to be a late one. but it'll be an amazing derby. Let me tell you, it always is, and it's going to be another amazing one.
You know, each of the last 2 years, Man U has won at least one of their 2 matchups against City. No matter how bad United were, they're in 7th, 6th, whatever.
Yep.
City wins the league. United wins one of the Manchester derbies. So I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way this game.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's this game.
I think they have to go to their statement. If you look back, it's always the night games that Man U does really great in. They always do really great. Night in Man U has to be like that. It has the crowd. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the players are just hungover. I'm like, man, we feel great now. All right, thanks for the extra 4 hours of sleep. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm thinking. So
last November, the away team won, and the team before that, the previous March, the away team won as well. So who knows?
Who knows? Next game, we have Leeds United versus Aston Villa. Two mid-tier teams doing pretty okay this year. Pretty okay. You have Leeds in 11th place, coming off a loss, unfortunately, and you have Aston Villa coming off a win, fortunately for them, who are down in 15th spot. What do you think on that, Matt?
I think, and you're gonna like this because I think the
Team America
team with more Americans is gonna pull out a win on Sunday, because they're a team that can score goals. They're gonna have the support of the home crowd. They have their stadium is a great atmosphere for home teams, not so great for away teams. I feel like. I think Villa is going to manage a goal, but I think it's going to be too late. I think Leeds is already going to be up by 2. Villa's going to score a later goal, like 70th minute or later, but it won't matter. I think Leeds is going to be commanding most of this game and win 2-1.
2-1 Leeds. Okay, all right. I do believe that Leeds is going to do great. I believe it's going to be 1-1, and then what's going to happen is the coach is going to do like he does. Guys, defense over on Aston Villa. Steven Gerrard's going to be like, guys, we're going to play defense. We're going to hold these guys off. Get a draw. We need the draw anyways. We played well, thanks, guys. And then Leeds going to be like, we're Team America. We don't hold back. Sorry, bro. And they're going to score a super late one. You said late, I mean super late. We're talking 89th minute. It's going to be a set piece. 89th minute. It's going to be insane. But it will be a 2-1 win, though. That's what I have it down as. So I totally agree with you, but it's going to be a 2-1 win. It's going to be a super late one, though. On to the last game of this week. It's going to be a Monday night game. It's going to be by itself. And it's going to be a snoozer boozer. But it is against 19th place Nottingham Forest going to 20th place Leicester City. Leicestershire still has not won a single game this year. They come off another tremendous loss. And Nottingham Forest comes off a loss also. Nottingham Forest has 4 straight losses. Leicester City, I believe, has 6 straight losses. So, good luck on this game. Yeah, okay, good. And so, what do you think it's going to be, Matt?
So, I just want to say, in their last 2 matches in the Premier League, Leicester have been outscored by a combined score of 11-4. But they have scored.
Yes.
I think they're going to score again.
Okay.
I think they're also going to concede again. I think this game is going to finish 1-1. I think both teams are going to be fighting to scrape out of the basement.
1-1. Okay.
They're each going to try and get a goal. They're going to be fighting. They're going to both get a goal, but nobody's going to separate themselves and look to be a team that deserves to not be relegated.
Right. So
Leicester's still going to look for their first win.
So you know what? It's going to be it's it's really funny this week. I didn't realize it until I started looking at the standings a little bit deeper. But this week you have 17 versus 18, 19 versus 20, and a lot of the other teams that are kind of mixed together. A lot of teams that are like
three.
Yeah, a lot of teams are right next to each other and that they're facing. I think Newcastle's facing Brentford.
13 and 14
Yeah.
are playing each other.
So you got a lot of teams that are right there. And so there's going to be some shift. And some teams that are really like, no, this is a big game because this is the team that's either above us or below us. And we gotta either separate or get, jump above them or get closer.
Yeah.
So you have two teams out here. I think this is another one of those pivotal games that I think a lot of fans of the Premier League aren't really looking at because they're like, oh yeah, it's 19 versus 20. Who cares who wins? Doesn't matter. It's big. This is actually bigger than a lot of teams think. Huge, because Leicester City, if they win, they will be 19th no matter what, because they will be equaled in goal difference. If they win by one, they'll be equal with goal, even by one, equal in goal difference, but they will have more goals than Nottingham Forest. Plus, they'll have
Is that the tiebreaker? Goals for?
It's goals for. Yep, after. So it's goal difference, then goals for, goals scored. But yeah, goals for, and then I think it's goals let in or whatever, and yada 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 whatever. Or I think it's wins.
Head-to-head points.
Head-to-head.
And then
Okay.
Head-to-head away goals after that.
Okay. But I think this is Brendan Rodgers' potential last game.
Could be.
It's a Nottingham Forest. A game
They lose?
he has to win. He's going to be pumping and dumping. He's going to put 5 forwards up front if he has to. He does not care. He's going to score. He's going to win. I will take this game as his big hoorah. It's going to be 2-1. The stadium's going to go crazy because, of course, they're going to get their first win. It's going to shake up
It's at the King Power. Yeah.
everybody because it's going to put Nottingham Forest in last, which I think we both had Nottingham Forest last anyways as our prediction video.
I think so.
But Nottingham Forest is going to be last. Leicester City is going to be 19th. Brendan Rodgers is going to keep his job. I would say it's the only way he can keep it. If it's a draw, he's out. If it's a loss, he's out. He has to win. He has to show the board that there's got to be a change. That he has his players, and he's doing everything he can to get this win. So I will say it's going to be 2-1 as this game.
I mean, a lot of their recent games have been against tougher opponents.
Yep.
I think you can't blame them for losing to Tottenham. But if you go up against another team that's a relegation candidate,
Yeah.
you don't have a good result, who else are you going to beat if you can't beat them, right?
Exactly. They've had it rough. Don't get me wrong. They've had it rough. They've had some very, very good teams they've faced this season, and I think this is the straw. This is the first team that I will say this is the first team that division wise, after we've all seen how the team works and everything else, that you look at and go, yeah, we should win this game. This should be a win. So this will be Brendan Rodgers' last game.
I think they should have beaten Southampton too.
Yeah.
Are a better team.
Yeah.
On paper at least, but they just.
Yeah. It is tough. It is tough though.
Again,
Yeah.
a whole match against a bottom team.
Yep.
You should win.
Exactly. So there's our predictions for this week. Thank you everybody for coming here. We kept under the 1 hour limit. Heck yeah, let's go. But yeah, thank you everybody for everything. Thank you guys for the support. Really do appreciate that. We'll see you guys in the next video. We'll try to get a video out every single day if we can. I'll try to do our best here. Alright, have a great premiere week, guys. Have a great premiere weekend. Have some fun watching the games. And to you, Matt, thank you again. Goodbye.